A lot of investors were looking forward to the Ripple IPO, but it was abruptly canceled. Ripple has drastically changed its strategy to pursue an initial stake offering, or ISO, as opposed to the more conventional path of an IPO. With this new strategy, 50% of the company's equity, worth about $100 billion, will be tokenized and distributed directly to XRP holders. The news coincided with a community-wide leak of a private board meeting resolution, demonstrating a unanimous vote in support of this groundbreaking choice. Half of Ripple's equity will be allocated among XRP ledger addresses, according to the board vote ISO implementation document. The SEC, Wall Street, and, to be honest, the entire cryptocurrency community have all been rocked by this revelation. It marks a significant change in the way businesses can distribute ownership and go public, returning authority to those who initially supported Ripple. It is truly impossible to exaggerate the importance of this move. Conventional IPOs are frequently criticized for favoring a select few insiders, such as institutional investors and investment banks, at the expense of retail investors, by enabling its community, often referred to as the XRP Army, to become the company's largest stockholders. Ripple's ISO directly undermines this model. By avoiding Wall Street, Ripple is removing gatekeepers, middlemen, and underwriting fees, resulting in a more equitable transfer of wealth. This is a daring statement about the future of business ownership and community involvement in the blockchain world, in addition to being a financial innovation. Therefore, we must examine the larger context of tokenized equities and real-world assets, or RWAs, in order to comprehend why this is significant. The tokenization of actual assets has become increasingly popular in recent years, and it holds promise for democratizing and bringing liquidity and transparency to markets that have historically been controlled by centralized organizations. By transforming corporate shares into digital tokens that are dispersed to the current XRP holder base, Ripple's ISO genuinely goes beyond this trend. This eliminates the need for holders to deal with intricate financial middlemen or purchase shares on an exchange in order to directly profit from Ripple's expansion and success. To be honest, this approach fits in nicely with the decentralized nature of blockchain technology and might perhaps be used as a model for next IPOs. Furthermore, this announcement's timing is extremely important. In precisely 7 days, the ISO picture that establishes eligibility for the equity airdrop will occur. Within the XRP community, this has already caused a bit of a frenzy, with holders transferring tokens from exchanges to private wallets in order to ensure their participation. As you are aware, exchanges are getting ready to handle the expected spike in withdrawals and transfers by creating statements and updates. Significant supply shocks are anticipated from the upcoming snapshot, which may cause XRP's price to soar as demand increases in anticipation of the historic equity airdrop. To be honest, the repercussions go beyond mere price speculation. An innovative type of hybrid asset is represented by this ISO model. XRP will be more than just a utility token or digital currency. At the same time, it will be essential to actual stock ownership in Ripple Labs. This dual purpose has the potential to completely change how investors view and value XRP. XRP holders now have a stake in the governance and operational success of the business rather than just making speculative purchases. Increased participation in Ripple's development, voting on business choices, and a more dispersed shareholder base could result from this, thereby lowering the dangers of centralized control or hostile takeovers. From a regulatory perspective, Ripple's ISO presents some difficult issues. The SEC, which has previously targeted Ripple because of claims of unregistered securities sales, is now dealing with a completely different situation in which Ripple uses these tokenized shares to distribute equity to its community directly. To be honest, this action gets around many of the old regulatory obstacles and might even establish new standards for digital securities. Although there are still legal concerns, Ripple's strategy is a true example of corporate finance innovation, forcing regulators to adjust to the reality of decentralized equity distribution and blockchain-based ownership. Based on the ISO framework, financial experts are currently updating their price estimates and models. If XP holders receive half of Ripple's to $100 billion valuation, this essentially amounts to a direct value transfer, with tens of billions of dollars going into the hands of individual investors worldwide. Due to scarcity, eligibility requirements, and the inherent value of ownership, even the more cautious models predict that this liquidity infusion may cause XRP's price to rise into triple digits. To be honest, some experts are even speculating that the combination of equity rights and token usefulness would result in hitherto unheard of levels of investor loyalty and demand. The response from the community has been, incredibly favorable. There is a lot of strategic discussion and excitement on the XRP forums, social media accounts, and Telegram groups. After the airdrop, many holders are aggressively building up their XRP holdings, transferring their tokens into cold wallets, and preparing to participate in governance. This grassroots fervor may result in a potent network effect, whereby the XRP army actively promotes the expansion, marketing, and acceptance of Ripple's ecosystem in addition to holding stock. Of course, there are still difficulties. There are still unanswered questions regarding governance frameworks, possible dilution, tradability of equity tokens, and regulatory acceptance. In order to allay these worries, Ripple's leadership has pledged to be open and communicative in the upcoming weeks. They stress that this ISO strategy aims to ensure long-term corporate sustainability and compliance while optimizing societal benefit. One thing is evident when we get closer to the ISO photo. In the blockchain era, Ripple is spearheading a fundamental shift in how businesses handle public ownership. Ripple is creating a precedent that could revolutionize initial public offerings (IPOs) globally by converting its devoted supporters into actual shareholders. There is more to this than just money. It makes a statement about decentralization, empowerment, and the future of wealth distribution, as you may know. To sum up, the decision to forego Ripple's initial public offering in favor of an IPO is a landmark development for both traditional and cryptocurrency financing. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance for holders of XRP to acquire actual stock in one of the top blockchain businesses in the world. To be honest, preparations are in progress, and the photo is quickly approaching. Although the SEC's response is still unknown, the Ripple community is already prepared to assert its leadership position in this financial revolution. Hold on tight, stay attentive, and prepare for a new era in which the people will actually control their property. Disclaimer: please keep in mind that I do not hold a financial advisor license. These videos only include content that is meant to be entertaining. Before making any financial decisions, I always advise viewers to do their own research and speak with experts. Many thanks for listening. Please remember to hit the subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Additionally, to be the first to know when I post new stuff, make sure you enable the alerts. I can't wait to see you again in the next video. Be careful.